One Piece Chapter 1179 Nerona Imu Descends is about the unveiling of One Piece's biggest and most mysterious villain ever, the Great One, Imu himself. For years, the real identity of Imu has been shrouded in darkness and ambiguity, but now it seems he has had enough waiting around for his knights to do his bidding. Imu descends down from the Holy Land onto Elbaf, and we get to see him in his full glory. The chapter begins in Pangia Castle in the Holy Land of Merijua. In the Room of Authority, 4 of the Gorosei are pushing back against Imu's decision to leave the Holy Land. They don't believe that Imu actually wants to visit Elbaf alone. You shouldn't have to stoop to go into the lower realm. Garling joins in and says they have no time to be idle when the Holy Land is under a food crisis. Because of the Revolutionary Army's efforts, the Celestial Dragons have been kept away from their precious luxurious food items. And apparently once Shamrock returned, it helped pacify the situation, but it's still far from over. Garling says, what is the point of a military leader if you cannot even feed his troops? He thinks their best option is to rally the soldiers so they can assert their global dominance. But then he's interrupted by a transponder snail, and on the other side is York, who is in the Lavo Face power plant, complaining about the lack of food she's getting. It looks like they're having her complete the Mother Flame to create an unlimited source of energy. Having such an asset would undoubtedly tip the scale on the world government's side. The 5 elders reflect on the current state of the world, and the fact that they are having to deal with one hassle after another, and that it all started after Luffy was revealed to be Nika in Wano country. Everything bad that could have happened has happened in the Gorosei's eyes, and at the center of every incident is Luffy, or Nika, so maybe it was inevitable. One of the Gorosei pleads to Imu to not go to Elbaf, but instead send the Navy admirals, plural, but Nejuro says that the government is stretched thin right now, so the admirals are needed elsewhere, which brings up the question, what exactly is going on? What's gotten them so pressed that they can't send Akainu or Kizaru there? Like, I'm just about tired of seeing Akainu in his desk all the time, and then him getting grumpy at the 5 elders about how he can't ever go into battle. It's just annoying that one of the primary antagonists in the story is just written out of the story, and it's partly due to him having a bigger purpose later down the line, but it's also to nerf him and keep him away from situations he might win over. The admirals constantly get nerfed by Oda, and it's because if they were to go all out in their fights, then a lot of things would be different, and some story arcs would be outright over in a chapter or 2. Still, I need Oda to let the reins on the admirals go. He needs to bring them into the endgame sooner rather than later. It's about time Akainu got off that desk. But anyway, Warkuri stands up saying that if the admirals can't go to Elbaf, then the Gorosei must go there instead. However, Imu says that the Gorosei must understand that what's happening on Elbaf is not a coincidence. The world government spearheaded by the Gorosei have gone idle and negligent. You have to put away your hubris, he says. Imu thinks about the key turning points in fate, with Zevek invading the Holy Land, to Roger starting the Great Pirate Era, to Shirahoshi being born, to Shanks stealing the Gum Gum fruit, to Herald and Whitebeard's sacrifices, and the emergence of Blackbeard, Joy Boy, Davy Jones, and the Nefertari family. They are what's causing Imu the most trouble since the Void Century, and it was all set in motion a long time ago, he says. Imu gives a parting message and says the Holy Land is in the hands of the Gorosei. Garling and Nejuro are the only elders who don't question Imu because they know it's not in their place. The others are still trying to persuade Imu a bit, but the decision has been made and Imu vanishes into the thin air. Back in Elbaf, Gerd finds Saint Summer's cut up body as he was trying to put himself back together, and it's funny how she keeps ripping him apart every time he's regenerating. He's like a magnet, she says. It looks like Gerd is as freaky as Summers. We then see Goldberg show Zoro the steel heart which belongs to Saint Summers, and Zoro wonders if he slices steel heart, would he die? Which makes Summers look in shock. Now, why would Summers the God Knight have a steel heart if he's immortal? Could Oda be introducing another way for the Straw Hats to take out the God Knights in the future? That doesn't have to do with the use of Conqueror's Haki, which is the only way we previously thought could take them out. I think Oda realized that Advanced Conqueror's Haki was too niche of a power to use to eliminate the God Knights. In that case, in the endgame, when we encounter more God Knights, only a select few like the Yonko captains and Zoro would be able to put them out of commission in a battle. The other Straw Hats and the other members of the other groups would only stop them temporarily. In any case, we switch over to the Waller School, where Frankie suggests to Usopp and Brook to let themselves be turned into cyborg, which would be kinda cool, but it probably wouldn't suit their character. It's best to let Chopper handle the injured, says Jinbei, as we see Killingham's head, body, and suit tied up to a tree. Loki and Luffy talk about how the entire school is frozen, and we still don't know what happened to books inside, and where the head owl went. But Luffy's disappointed he can't eat anything here, and thinks Usopp and Brook should get the food supplies first anyway, but Loki thinks Luffy should get back to strength first. first, before worrying about the others. Loki talks about his attack move in Nibelheim, and how that flash freezes people, but it actually won't kill anybody. And apparently only Ragnir the squirrel can unfreeze the frozen, which is interesting. I wonder if that is actually a stipulation of his power, or that's just something he thinks because he hasn't seen anyone thaw themselves out of it. I think Loki uses this attack again, maybe against Imu himself, but it doesn't work, just to show that Imu is special and whatnot. But then it happens. A large black streak beams down from the sky in 5 different spots and forms a pentagram on top of the castle. And you see musical notes being played. Zoom zoom dororon dororon bororo doom doom. You see trees and buildings animate and make human expressions, kind of like the homies back in Whole Cake Island. Like how Big Mom can infuse souls into inanimate objects, Imu can apparently do the same. And a large Conqueror's hockey mask crashes on the castle, and you see Colin knocked out. It's coming from the castle, said Loki, and it's the same hockey as before. In the throne room, Imu is seen coughing up blood before his real body ejects out of his shadowy one. And then in a glorious double spread, we see the man, the myth, the calamity, the ruler of the world himself, Nerona Imu on top of the castle spire, the world government creator with one of the first 20 abilities, the Devil's Fruit. Yes, ladies and gents, it's Saint Nerona Imu, the king of the world. This is it. We actually got the reveal of Imu in the big 2026, and I predicted this. In the last chapter review, I told y'all we would see Imu's reveal very, very soon. Maybe even in the next chapter, and look where we are now. Now, first impressions, I absolutely love the design with the horns on his head, and the tail arrow with the bladed weapon on his hand, and the ring with the eyes in the back. It looks amazing. He kind of reminds me of Sage of Six Paths from Naruto Loki, and it is a lot to take in all at once. I still don't know what I'm looking at, honestly. Imu's face looks like he could be a Lunarian, but he has horns too, so maybe he's like a mix of all the races. Maybe over the centuries, Imu has taken a little from every race and infused their best attributes onto himself. I don't know. And the title of his power is interesting too. One of the first 20 ability, the Devil's Fruit. So Imu's power is the Devil Fruit. Like he ate the first ever Devil Fruit. Maybe he can steal powers from other fruits because he has one of the first 20 powers. It would be crazy if Imu could use Devil Fruit abilities from all fruits in the world. Like I think that's too overpowered, because then how do you even beat something like that? But then again, we did see Imu cough up blood transforming into his real body, so there's definitely some drawbacks to him coming to Elbaf. I don't think we get to see a full-out war unfold here in Elbaf. Imu will fight Loki for sure, and then Luffy will join in fully rested, but I don't think they beat Imu here, obviously. He'll maybe take someone hostage back to Mary Joie. I mean, the God Knight's original mission was to use the Kid Giants as hostages, but you can't do that now. Maybe he takes one of the Straw Hats, I don't know. The point is, there has to be some major stakes here for Imu's reveal in Elbaf. Bodies will have to start dropping on the floor, and I'm praying Oda actually gives us proper fights and not just clashes. In the next chapter, I'm predicting Imu to flex his powers on everyone, and before he returns, he will leave here with something. He has to. But anyway guys, that was the chapter. What do y'all think about Imu's reveal? Did you like his design? And what do you think will happen next here on Elbaf? Leave all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. It's free, I promise. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.